It's a tool I trust to keep my internet connection protected. With one click, it hides everything I do online and sends it through a secure connection so no one can see or track my online activity. Here's the best part. ExpressVPN works across all your devices, your phone, laptop, tablet, even your smart TV. One subscription protects up to 8 devices, so your whole family stays secure. Don't wait. Protect your family's internet connection today with ExpressVPN. Right now, you can get my special offer of 4 extra months with ExpressVPN. Just go to expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim for 4 extra months of privacy protection. Don't wait. Check it out right now at expressvpn.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my...
Good morning and happy Tuesday to everybody.
You won't believe where I am.
Can you hear that?
Funny?
Yes. What on earth?
I'm going to make it.
What on earth is that? That was the LSU feed.
Was it?
The guys left it on from the game last night. So, what am I hearing in my headphones? That was hilarious. I wondered if, I've got my Bluetooth Shocks headphones on underneath my, so I thought maybe it was just in my head.
I was wondering what was going on.
Are you hearing the same voices I'm hearing? Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. A terrific Tuesday on Talkback. Nathan Martin along with Stephen Maxwell. And it's going to be a great day. A little chilly outside. I'm wearing something I have never owned in my life, a hoodie. I don't know if I've told you that. I've never owned a hoodie in my life.
Hoodies are great.
And this is only the second time I've ever worn it. So, but it was cold outside and it felt like a good day to wear a hoodie. So I've got my If I Be Lifted Up hoodie that I bought from the group that's putting that on Thursday night. And we're going to have Keith Dickens call in later in the program to talk about that event coming up on Thursday evening. We also have Mayor Joe Bishop going to be in at 8 o'clock to talk about things in Pineville. Tonight's the Pineville City Council meeting. And I've looked at the agenda. It's not a very long agenda. Got a few little interesting things, but there is going to be an audit report. So that's always intriguing. I asked what was happening, if there's anything. He said nothing to worry about, which is good. It's always good to get a clean audit. We'll find out that for sure tonight. And I also found out that the sales tax revenue has come in, and he said it's better because we had 3 months in a row where it was down. And that would be the first time in my 20 plus years on the council that 3 months in a row were down year over year. But then he said last month, the numbers were pulled from the wrong report. So we actually were not down 3 months in a row. So that's good to know. So we'll hear all that from Mayor Joe Bishop coming up. But in this first hour, it's going to be your phone calls on the BOM talk line, 318-442-8255. And are you driving a different vehicle this morning?
Mm-mm.
Okay. The little black.
Yeah, Camry.
Okay. No,
that's my car.
I forgot. So I pulled up and I saw that there. I'm like, I had a senior moment. Like,
well, maybe last time I had the Honda,
I think
which is my wife's.
Maybe so.
Because Tuesdays I was taking Sophia. Maybe that's why. You never saw my actual car. But yeah, that's the one I drive. A little chilly out there. Sunrise was nice this morning.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I have a fun thing with my daughter. You know, she's adopted from South America, so English is her second language. And when she sees any type of beautiful sun low in the sky, she calls it a sunset. So this morning she was saying, "What a beautiful sunset." I'm like, "Baby, this is the second day in a row." Yesterday I told you that's a sunrise because it rises in the morning and sets in the evening. She's like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." But it's kind of fun, you know?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Having somebody that, you know, comes from a second language. You know, good stuff.
Sometimes they get tired of you correcting them.
They do. Yeah. They do. But she was in good mood this morning. I tell you why she was in a good mood this morning. It's because she went to Olive Garden last night.
Oh, y'all went?
No.
Oh.
Hear me carefully. She went to Olive Garden last night. She wanted to go, and I said, I am not standing for 2 hours in the cold weather to go to Olive Garden. And she wanted to go so bad, she and a good friend. And so they went last night, And she said, it's not going to be 2 hours. Guess what? They stood for 2 hours.
Did they really?
They stood for 2 hours in the cold to get inside. And I said, was it worth it? She said, absolutely.
It's the memories, man.
I did say to her, nobody can ever take away from you that you were there the first night that Olive Garden opened. You'll always be able to say that. You'll always be able to brag to me, Dad, I went. Of course, I paid. So
I was honestly thinking about getting there early in the morning yesterday, taking off the radio show.
I heard you now.
And just do a video of me being the first in line. But
you should have. That would have been great.
But I didn't want to stand out there in the cold. So.
Oh, you talking about like standing out there until they actually open at 11?
And do like video
I wouldn't
live
say
or something.
that.
It'd be funny.
I was just going to say go stand there at 9 o'clock in the morning at 8:30 and say, I'm the first one here. Although I wonder if you would have been.
There were people there at 10. I know that.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Listen, the little clip you did from Olive Garden, the lady that was the general manager, she made this comment like, apparently Alexander has been wanting an Olive Garden for a long time. I'm like, you're not from here, are you?
Well, she was from Florida, and I kept, every time I talk to somebody who is like the manager there and they're not from here, I was like, do you understand what this means? They're not just excited it's a restaurant. It's become like the thing of Central Louisiana. It's been the running joke, and not even like a joke, just like a measure of success. And I just don't think they understand or comprehend.
No. Well, and I made this comment, I think to my secretary yesterday. I said in 2015, I think it was 15 or maybe early 16, I said, Donald Trump will never be president of the United States. He's just throwing his name in the ring because he wants to be in the circus. He likes the attention, and it's not serious. He's not serious about this. Coming down the escalator, and then I said 2 years ago on this show, I said, Olive Garden is never coming to Central Louisiana. Just mark it down, folks. They're not coming. So I've been wrong twice in the last 10 years.
I want you to say right now, Stephen
I've been wrong
Maxwell
a lot more.
Will never be a millionaire.
You need me to say that out loud?
Say it right now.
Look at me in the eye. Stephen Maxwell, you'll never be a millionaire. I'm saying it on the radio show, so maybe the third time will be the fulfillment.
I never buy lottery, but I might do it.
Go
now.
buy one today. Oh my goodness. No, that was, I miss it big sometimes. I absolutely do. And I missed both of those huge events. I was stunned when I heard they were coming because the reports I had heard from those who went to the National Restaurant Association festivals and the shopping festivals, we were told we didn't have the numbers.
Yeah,
but
we heard that forever.
There's more than raw numbers. And Matt will tell you, there's more than just raw numbers when it comes to development. When you understand the pulse of a community and can grasp, now, obviously many of us feel like that may not have been the optimal location, but nevertheless, that name's going to draw. That name alone may rev up that area for a while.
There's not many places in Alexandria I'm like, man, it's over there. I'm not going to go. It's not that far. So you make it there eventually. But lots of people there. Line was wrapped around the door. I don't know how long the people in the back waited, but it was exciting. People were pumped, and it's fun to have a little excitement.
It was. And look, my daughter was texting me and video calling me during the meal and showing off, and it looked great. And I'm glad she had that experience. It was fun for her.
My brother-in-law and his friends said they're all going to get 3-piece suits and go Saturday and make a big deal out of it. Mind you, they're in their mid-30s.
Hey, why not have some fun
with his college buddies? Yeah, it looks like fun. So
that's hilarious.
The kids were excited about the breadsticks, and just it was like a little after Christmas magic.
Yeah, it really, really was. And you did a good job of capturing that with your Sunlight update. So good job there.
Thank you, sir.
Wanted to mention that I just got a text from a friend that wanted us to know about the Lions Club holding a community resource fair at the Tudor Community Center in Pineville on January 17th. So that is coming up on Saturday. That will be, I'm looking at it from 9 to 12. And so that's free information on health, family services, education, and more. So the Lions Club International bringing this community resource fair to the Tudor Community Center on Saturday, 9 to 12, 9 to noon. So check them out, and that'd be a good place to drop by and find out kind of the services that are being offered that you may not be aware of. So appreciate that.
Tell your friend to drop by here at 9. and put them on camera.
At 9 today?
Yeah, if they want
Okay.
to.
I will tell him. Hopefully he's listening, but I'll text him as well. Yeah, that's great. I got a video friend sent to me this morning, a friend who sends me stuff. I don't know if you have a lot of friends that send you stuff. I have a lot of friends that send me stuff. And sometimes it takes me an hour to work through all the reels that people send me.
You're nice to go through them. So
yeah, my secretary told me, she said, I don't respond. I guess I'm feeding the beast because I feel like I have an obligation. You wrote me, I got to write you, So, but this one this morning was hilarious. It was from an LSU platform, the LSU Football Report on X. It's at LSU Report, and it's a video, an AI-generated tiger with sunglasses, headphones, and drinking what looks like a beer out of a glass bottle. And when you look at it, the label is Ole Miss Tears. And the tiger he laughs at the end. I'm like, that's a great use of AI. And I asked him, did you send this to our mutual Ole Miss fans? Absolutely. So I can't wait to send it to my son-in-law who graduated from over there. He does not like Lane Kiffin.
I bet he does.
Just like we didn't like Nick Saban for a while.
Yep.
So, but it's different because Nick left us and went to Miami and then went to Alabama. I mean, this is going straight from Ole Miss to LSU. That's the ultimate betrayal.
I mean, they were on the brink of a championship season there.
Yeah,
so
they were so close.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And apparently Lane Kiffin's going to get some nice little bonuses for their postseason performance. Although I've heard LSU has to pay them because of the contractual agreement.
Such a weird work situation.
No,
must be nice.
Nuts. So before we get into the break, the bottom of the hour, we got a couple of minutes. I do want to mention news broke to us last Tuesday when I was on the show that former Pineville Police Chief Jay Barber had passed away. You actually showed me the notice that you'd gotten, and I'd gotten right around the same time. But I didn't mention it on air because it was just found out. And the funeral was yesterday. So I went to pay my respects, packed out, standing room only. The entire Tioga softball team was there in uniform. They stood it was like an hour and a half long service, and they stood the entire time because there was no place for them to sit. An incredible memorial for a man who had a big impact on so many lives. And I just want to pause and acknowledge that. They say that I didn't go to the visitation Sunday night, but they say that the line was out the door into the parking lot, people coming in for the hours that they were there, and the family just completely overwhelmed by the response of the community. The speakers for the service, Pastor George Barrett, opened with prayer. And then one of the grandsons, I believe it was Malachi McKee, read Psalm 23. They had some music, of course. They also had personal reminiscences from D.A. Philip Terrell, who said at one of the times of his life when he was in a very low spot that Jay had opened his home and let him live there for a season, like he did for many people. And also speaking was LCU legend Mike Burns, there to give some personal reflections. And then, of course, Coach Dennis Dunn did a phenomenal job of bringing the message. Another grandson, Elijah McKee, spoke and shared some personal reflections about his peepaw. I mean, I don't think there were dry eyes in the place. And he, with such composure, at 11, 12 years old, I don't know how old he is. Amazing job. And then the two sons and the daughter got up and shared some things. And one of the more moving memorials I've been to, funerals I've been to, great life, only 71 years old, which now that I'm 60, that's really not that old at all. But I'm glad that folks paused. A lot of Pineville Police Department folks there in their dress uniforms to show respect, as should be, but a lot of coaching people there. And I want to give this personal story about Jay. Of course, he served as police chief when I was during my tenure on city council. I had a lot of opportunities to interact with him. And after he retired, he poured himself back into coaching. But when he came to faith at a really like a sincere place of faith, he became a significant part of River Outreach Church there on Main Street in Pineville. And he had his chair that he always sat in. Everybody know it was Jay's seat, first row on the end. And I had gone there at one point. They have, from time to time, they'll have what they call a healing service or a night of worship, these kind of extra things. And often on Sunday nights, and we don't have a Sunday night service. So I had gone one evening and brought my daughter, and she was going through a really rough time. And that evening, Jay, it's almost like he had this ability to see people that have issues or needs or struggles or hurts. And he honed in on my daughter and prayed for her. And she really connected with him. She responded well. And every single time I've seen him since, he's always, how's our girl? How's our girl? Just that really personal connection. And I thank him for taking that time. And I know he's gone on to receive his reward, and I'm grateful that we have the confidence of his faith. But what a beautiful, beautiful memorial yesterday, one that anybody would be proud to be a part of. So condolences to the family, and I pray that God will comfort your hearts. It's beautiful when the community comes together to remember people.
It is. And heard there was a lot of people there from those that went, and I remember him at LCU, and so seemed like a great guy. I don't think I knew him personally, but he's a nice guy.
What I didn't know when I read the obituary, he was born in Hobbs, New Mexico, and grew up on a ranch as a cattle hand.
There you go.
I'm a real cowboy. Now, up at those early years, I think he moved to the Tioga area when he was in high school. And so, a lot of his friends, I think they said 9th grade is when they moved from New Mexico to Louisiana. But that was a part of his life I never knew. So that was interesting to hear.
New Mexico.
Yeah. So that calls in to give honor to whom honor is due. We've had a lot of funerals recently, and people that, I'm familiar with or close to. And, sometimes they seem to come in clusters, so that's just part of life.
It does seem to do that.
I want to recognize also Mayor Bishop. I'm sure we'll talk about it at 8 o'clock, but Fire Chief Casey Cummins is retiring, and that's a really phenomenal story. A young man who made some great strides. I remember him as just a firefighter, and over the 20 some odd years I've been on the council, watching him rise through the ranks, was the arson investigator for many years, and did a great job as chief. So he'll be recognized tonight at the council meeting. Served for many, many years and been chief since early 2024. So as what happens, a lot of times you get to that chief spot and you put in a few years and then you rotate off and go enjoy your life. But congratulations to Casey Cummins, retiring fire chief in Pineville.
Oh, he's one of my favorites. I didn't hear that. Was it on social media?
I don't know if it was or not.
Oh, wow. No, he's awesome. He's one of my favorites.
Well, I have a feeling you might want to reach out to him.
I am right now.
It's a good deal. All right. Well, we're coming to the bottom of the hour. We haven't had a phone call yet. So it's time for your calls to come to us this morning on the BOM talk line, 318-442-8255. Well, we'll talk about some local news. We'll talk about some national news and whatever you want to talk about right after this break. Thanks for joining us on Talkback on Tuesday.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Shares of Capital One, American Express, and other banks sank in trading yesterday after President Trump called on credit card companies to cap interest rates at 10% for a year. The president surprised the industry with a move he said could go into effect next week. This could wipe out billions of dollars in profits for one of the banking industry's biggest businesses. Credit card interest rates have been hovering above 20% in recent years. Turning to the markets this morning, stock futures are edging slightly lower. Markets are keeping a close eye on the Trump administration's renewed attacks on the Federal Reserve that have stoked concerns about its independence. And liquor giant Diageo is said to be considering options for its Chinese business. The maker of Guinness and Johnnie Walker is looking to streamline its portfolio. Diageo would join a number of global companies reviewing their assets in China due to intensifying competition from domestic players. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Holidays are over and school is back in session. But Rapides Parish Library is ready to help your students succeed. From free homework help and research tools to computers, Wi-Fi, tutoring resources, and study spaces, your library is your students' best resource. Do you need help with projects, test prep, or just a quiet place to focus? It's all here, and it's all free. Visit Rapides Parish Library and rpl.org to discover everything your library can do for you and your student.
Do you know that trees cover half the state of Louisiana? It's a fact, they do. Hi, I'm Jeff Sarang, and I invite you to come by the Louisiana Forestry Association office to pick up a free tree on Friday, January 16th from 7:30 to 10 a.m. We're celebrating Arbor Day with a gift of persimmon, bald cypress, shoemort oak, river birch, pond cypress, and sawtooth oak. We're located on MacArthur Drive near the South Circle across the highway from Albertsons. Make it a good day to plant a tree.
Well, sunshine and control of the weather picture for the next couple of days. Pretty nice today with sunny skies, afternoon highs near 60. We'll see winds out of the southwest at about 5 this afternoon. Now tonight, well, mostly cloudy skies overnight. 43 will be the overnight low. And our Wednesday, another nice day with sunny skies, a little bit warmer. 63 will do it for the afternoon high. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talk Back. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
That's some nice tunes right there. You named that song. You ever watch that show years ago? How many notes can you name that song in? You ever?
Yeah. What is that?
That was a hit show back in the 60s or 70s, maybe 70s. It was called Name That Tune. And they would have this thing back and forth. How many notes could they name a song in? They'd give them a genre, and it would be like, and so they say, well, I can name that tune in 8 notes. And they'll be like, I can name that tune in 7 notes. And so, okay. Hey, today is National Radio Broadcasting Day. How about that?
Wow. It's our day today.
It's our day, celebrating the very thing that folks are listening to us on and we're talking on since 1920, interestingly enough. And of course, radio waves are considered public property, so you got to have a license to use them unless it's the one of those super low powered, like in your house, in your home. People have those Christmas lights. Those are non-regulated, but it's important. I think it's a great tool that has reached so many people. Even today's day of social media and the social media networks and the internet and all that stuff, amazing to me how many people still comment to me that listen to the show. Last night or yesterday morning at the funeral, several people making comments about how much they enjoy, the back and forth and the repartee. So, yeah. America's first commercial radio station.
But this guy, because blah, blah, blah. You need to tell him to blah, blah, blah.
They tell you that about me, huh? Okay.
No, they were saying that about me to you.
KDKA went on the air 106 years ago in Pittsburgh and is still broadcasting today. So, yeah, good stuff.
Pittsburgh ain't too happy today.
What was your first radio job? Was it Q?
The Competitor. Off air, though.
Oh, yeah.
I worked the remote, so for NASCAR. So I'd go in there, and they'd have the NASCAR races on, and I'd sit there and punch it up when they went live and take it to commercial.
Yeah.
So that was in college.
I did a lot of that in the early days for commercial, for games that were broadcast from, brought in from someplace else, whether it's LSU or whatever, and you'd have to cue up the commercials and get them going. I was in radio back when you had what looks like 8-track cassettes. They called them carts, and physically put in the carts in the machine, and then you push the button. Now everything's so automated. It's way gone days for sure.
And then my first on-air job was Cenla Broadcasting.
Did you do anything at KZLC? The LC station?
Yeah, we did.
That was part of your learning, I guess.
It was.
Yeah.
We did a lot of that. We had our own sports talk show.
Now, they're fairly low powered, though, right? Like a 500 watt or something like that.
I don't know how many, but it's for the campus.
Yeah. It covers, I think it's still a licensed station because it covers more than, and it has a call letter and whatnot. But
you can catch it in parts of Pineville.
You can. Yeah, you sure can.
Yeah.
So, radio.
Good old days.
Yeah. So, my My very first job, believe it or not, in radio was with KDBS, 1410 AM, which is part of this family right here. But this is back when it was on Jackson Street, along with KWRV 100.3, owned by the Karst family and her dad, Earl Ward Simon, I believe was his name. And I was the weekend guy for KDBS. Back then, it was a Christian station, K-Dixie. And I did weekend. So this is in the 1980s, and Southern gospel was probably the rage. But on the weekends, I got to do contemporary Christian music. So that was fun to get.
Oh, no, what we're getting to with all that this music.
They're clapping on the offbeats. So, and what's funny is the music that we played as contemporary Christian back then would almost be considered, classic Christian or easy Christian, or, just a slight step outside of Southern gospel. The Imperials, and now Petra came along, and Petra, I don't know if do you remember Petra? You never listened to them? Oh, okay. Well, they were one of the raging bands of the late 70s and early 80s, and their lead singer, Greg Volz, and Petra are making a comeback tour. And he's 71 years old.
Never heard of Petra.
He can still wail.
And I grew up with the Christian music.
Well, they were probably too radical for your family, for your dad. They weren't quite as radical as Stryper. I know
my
you've
dad,
never heard of Stryper.
My dad's not. My dad doesn't care.
Oh, really?
No.
Wow. Okay.
He's pretty chill.
Okay.
I grew up on like AC/DC, Queen, and ABBA.
See, I didn't.
On Saturday through Monday or whatever. Monday through Saturday.
Man, you heathen.
We'd just skip Highway to Hell or whatever.
No, oh, my goodness.
What was it? Oh, Highway to Hell. Yeah, Highway to Hell or something. See, I don't remember. It wasn't even that important to me.
Okay. Hey, congratulations to Police Jury President Craig Smith for being re-elected as president. He's been president a lot. I think 7 or 8 times in his tenure. And one of the things I remember the most was that he was president in 2020. And if I recall, he did like 4 years in a row as president. That, when COVID hit and everybody was, unsure of what to do, they elected him, I think, at the beginning of that year before COVID was even announced. And then they just kept his leadership for several years. And he's been re-elected. He was 20 to 23 or 24, 23, I think, 2021, 22, 23. And then he wasn't president 24, then he was president again in 25, and now president 26. So apparently the rest of the jury feels like he provides some steady leadership, and I acknowledge that. He chairs the Rapides Area Planning Commission that I serve on, and as the chairman, he has a steady hand, and he listens to everybody, and he doesn't seem to get ruffled or excitable. So congratulations to him. And Ollie Overton is the vice president, who's another really solid guy. Have you visited with Ollie much?
Oh, yeah. I ran into him at Bercado's the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a solid, nice guy, and
nice guy.
Serves well. So
he will tell you his opinion during the meetings, though.
Yeah, of course. And
all the police jurors will.
You need that. You really do. Yeah. So important to recognize. And I mean, the people who are elected need to speak up and say, what their opinions are. Burn ban has been lifted in Rapides Parish.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. All those folks who were planning cookouts and bonfires in the cold weather.
That's right. All the Christmas boxes.
That's right. We will have a bonfire towards the end of the month at our church. I started this a couple of years ago. We have a prayer box that in our prayer room. We have a prayer room, and you can on one wall I got a print of the Jerusalem Wailing Wall, really giant print, and it's over a foam board, and you can use pens to stick your prayer requests on the wall, and then others who come in can read them and pray for you. Okay. And then we have another wall called the praise wall, because when the prayer has been answered, we move it over to the praise wall. But we have a box in there, a small box that says for God's eyes only, and those are confidential prayer requests. Nobody sees them. There's no hinge on it. It's a completely enclosed box. And then every January, we take that box, we anoint it with oil, and we burn it in a bonfire, because the scripture talks about how our prayers rise as incense before God. So it's just and look, it's symbolic. It's nothing magical or anything like that. But I was a little concerned about the burn ban that was going to keep us from having that opportunity later this month. So I'm glad that they lifted that.
That is good. It lasted about a month, and I know some people are happy, and some people just kept doing it, I'm sure. If you're out in the country.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I mean, it's kind of, I'm not going to say it's a honor system, but it's really more of a neighbor reporting you system.
You know, no one's going to report their neighbor.
Who wants to do that? So, have you noticed that the Rapides Parish Journal has changed the way that they send out their notices? I don't know if you
I don't even
subscribe to them. So I've subscribed to them for a year. Well, ever since they first started via email, and every day you would get an email right at 7 o'clock. It must have been scheduled to go out right at 7 a.m. And in the email, it would have the links to all of the new stories, and you could click on the link, and it would take you straight to that new story. Well, now they've changed it as of maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it says morning update, just like it always did, but when you open it up, it says today's edition read now, and you have to click on that to see the stories. So I really liked having it in the email because I could just glance through, but I can see why they're doing it because they want to drive eyeballs to the website. And look, folks, that is a great resource. They're providing lots of good local stories. They got Jim Butler, who retired from the Town Talk, just a venerable news guy, and he's doing a lot of contributions there. And so check out RapidsParishJournal.com and subscribe. It'd be good for you. So,
subscribe to our competitor.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
But they're...
I swear I'm joking.
Gosh,
I'm messing with
just throw me under the bus again. I'm okay with it. I'm not professional at this at all. So you're right. I don't even think that way.
No, they cover things that I don't like. I always tell everyone, watch all the news in town and you'll get a good roundabout of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So that's also show prep for me sometimes.
100%.
That's how I learn some stuff that's going on.
I mean, to be honest with you, secret about television news back in the day, they would just read the newspaper and see what was going on.
Well,
go cover it,
there used to be this phrase, rip and read, where you're reading on the radio, ripping out stories from the paper and reading them, So because nobody could see you until Stephen Maxwell came along and started putting our faces on. Oh, there goes my camera again.
Well, you were on before me, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, we weren't on as professionally as we are now.
That's right. But yeah, that's good. The more news we have in town, the better. And the more print journalism, which you would call the Journal.
That's right.
Or the Town Talk, is better for society because they cover things that people with cameras probably don't really want to cover or will. And so it's very important.
I remember, I forget how long ago it was. I think it was in the 90s. The Town Talk had a community advisory panel they put together. And I applied and was accepted and got to serve on it and got to see kind of the behind the scenes view of how newsrooms work and how they did their jobs. And I came to be even more of a fan of print journalism because in traditional television news back then, a 2-minute package, 2.5-minute package was a decent package, a long package, but there's only so much you can say in 2 minutes. And you have to, there's a lot of edited parts and the reporter's trying to give a complete story, but with a newspaper, you can have a 1,000-word article or longer article that lets you dig into the, so I appreciate both forms, and that really, the demise of the Town Talk is something that we will always lament, I think, in Central Louisiana.
In America,
I am way past on our break, Matt.
I was wondering.
I'm just sitting here talking, and let's take a break. We'll be right back.
KSYL.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners, the fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the Virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. LSU putting the finishing touches on this portal class. What needs remain? We'll talk about it with Shay Dixon. 3 to 6, Alexandria's 94.7 ESPN.
Do you know that trees cover half the state of Louisiana? It's a fact, they do. Hi, I'm Jeff Sarang, and I invite you to come by the Louisiana Forestry Association office to pick up a free tree on Friday, January 16th from 7:30 to 10 a.m. We're celebrating Arbor Day with a gift of persimmon, bald cypress, shoemort oak, river birch, pond cypress, and sawtooth oak. We're located on MacArthur Drive near the South Circle across the highway from Albertsons. Make it a good day to plant a tree.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, welcome back to Talk Back. I just checked during the break to make sure the phone was working, and we do have a dial tone. So all you got to do, see, we do have a dial tone, so that's good. All right.
You just got to talk about Trump and people will call in.
I did talk about Trump. If you remember, I admitted that in 2015, I said he would never be president, or 16, whatever it was, when he first announced. I honestly, at the time, thought of him as a talk show guy, as a flamboyant, attention seeker, and so I just didn't think it was for real. But
I was and Al can attest to this, and I got a lot of flack for it, but I was just saying what my prediction will be. I was one of the only ones in that newsroom. I was like, I think he's going to win.
Really?
Like, I was pretty confident. It's just, you could tell. I just had a gut feeling about it. And they were like, oh, we're sorry, you were right. Because they were like, there's no way, and you're so wrong. I was like, I'm telling you, he's going to win. And then the last time, I thought it was going to favor him. A little bit of a toss-up, but it's just, I think we all knew he'd probably be the favorite.
Yeah. Even, I tell you, that it's kind of like a comeback tour for America, it almost feels like, in the sense that people who live in flyover country felt like they were overlooked. Oh, you know what I think it is? Hold on. Okay, if you've tried to call in, and I think there's supposed to be a button. There's a call. Let's try this out. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I had called and it was just ringing.
Okay. I looked over now and I saw a button that was not pushed. It's supposed to be pushed. And I realized that was the issue. So sorry about that. I almost said Dave hasn't called us yet. So thanks for calling, Dave.
Well, no, the only reason I was calling, you were talking about your almost experiences with the newspaper or journalism and stuff. I almost became a disc jockey. I had a friend, KTVS used to be an all-Christian station.
That's right.
And I used to go sit in the booth with a friend when it was over there on Texas Avenue. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, Jackson Street. Near the corner of Jackson and Bolton. And,
it was actually in the little portable building behind the Cable RV. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, behind Cable RV. And they said, you ought to apply. I said, oh, man, I could never do that. They said, we need somebody. So I went and I read for it. And there was 3 of us. And he, he knew the people. And he said that I had that they were probably going to hire me. But then all of a sudden they didn't. And he said that the job was going to pay $3.35 an hour. But there was one of the applicants that read that was low income, which I was a college student at the time. I don't know how you get any lower income, but he qualified for a federal program that they would pay half his salary. So he got it and I didn't. And that ended my career in radio.
That may have been me. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I don't know. But it's funny as life twists and turns.
And since that day, Dave's hated government assistance. That was like the moment.
that was Coy Edwards. Go ahead.
It did kind of sting. I got to admit, it did kind of sting. My dad faced a lot in the 70s in education in Lafayette. He was a very good teacher and a very good coach. And by all means, should have moved up the ranks into being a principal. But every time a principal job came open, they would say, Dave, sorry, we have to hire a female or a minority. We can't. Sorry. And it went his whole life like that. And so he never moved beyond teacher. But anyway, it did sting a little bit. And I don't think that makes us better to set aside. But I understand why the station did it. I question the people, it was part of the war on poverty. Anyway, what could have been, might have been, but the Lord, what is it? The plans of the heart belong to man, but God ordains the footsteps.
Absolutely. So,
yeah. So y'all have a great day.
You've had some great steps. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate your phone call. And thanks for making sure the phone worked. All right. To catch up, I got to take the next break. We'll be back with the final segment of the first hour right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Let the good times roll. Mardi Gras is just around the corner and the countdown is on. Kick off the season with the Pineville Night of Lights Mardi Gras Parade on Friday, February the 6th at 7 p.m. Then on Friday the 13th, the celebration heats up with the Classic Cars and College Cheerleader Parade in downtown Alexandria at 4:30 p.m. Then on Saturday, February 14th, bring the whole family to the Children's Mardi Gras Parade at 10 a.m. in downtown Alexandria, followed by the Mardi Gras on the Red celebration in Pineville that kicks off at 1, and a Mardi Gras party at the Alexandria Zoo with king cake and music. Wrap it all up on Sunday the 15th with the Cruise Parade at 2 p.m. featuring Grand Marshal and Pineville native Cody Ford, an offensive lineman for the Cincinnati Bengals. For all the parade details, log on to explorealexandriapineville.com, or to discover something new in Louisiana, visit explorelouisiana.com to plan your trip today.
Problems. Everybody hates them, but from time to time, everybody's got some. And that's why everybody needs to know about Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Heating or cooling problem? Call Southern Air. Plumbing or drain problem? It's Southern Air again. Your power's out and you need a generator? Guess who? And you can keep those problems away this winter with a heating tune-up. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling now at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
Do you know that trees cover half the state of Louisiana? It's a fact, they do. Hi, I'm Jeff Zarang, and I invite you to come by the Louisiana Forestry Association office to pick up a free tree on Friday, January 16th from 7:30 to 10 a.m. We're celebrating Arbor Day with a gift of persimmon, bald cypress, shoemort oak, river birch, pond cypress, and sawtooth oak. We're located on MacArthur Drive near the South Circle across the highway from Albertsons. Make it a good day to plant a tree.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Welcome back to Talk Back, where the phone calls are finally working. If you called earlier and it just rang and rang and rang, we apologize to you. We missed your phone calls, as you could tell. I was blathering on about anything and everything, trying to get, make time for calls. But nevertheless, I did want to mention, I guess I mentioned Keith Dickens was going to call in. He's actually going to come by around 8:40. So we're going to talk with him about the If I Be Lifted Up event coming up Thursday night at the Coliseum. I'm wearing my If I Be Lifted Up hoodie, the only hoodie I've ever owned in my life. I know I'm old, but here's the full disclosure. I'm not going to be there Thursday night because I'm going to be in Mexico. I'm actually driving to Houston tonight, flying out early tomorrow morning, headed down to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of one of our, I call them a granddaughter church because they were started by a daughter church. Church that we started back in 1988 would be a daughter church of Christian Challenge. And then I came home in end of 91. And in 2001, they started this church. They started several other churches since then. So I'm a grandfather.
There you go.
And they've asked Pawpaw to come preach at the anniversary.
What city is it in?
So the church is in Las Chiapas, Veracruz, which is on the southern tip of Veracruz State. I'm flying into Tuxtla Gutierrez, Chiapas, which is the border state with Guatemala. A beautiful little city there. That's where their Grand Canyon is located. Mexico's Grand Canyon is in Tuxtla Gutierrez. Beautiful, beautiful facility. Not facility, creation, I guess. And then so we'll drive about 3 hours from there back to Las Chiapas. And we have events Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I had to be there in time for the early morning stuff on Friday. So I have to flying down Wednesday, and then Thursday's our travel day, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday with preaching events and a lot of eating. That's amazing. So what's nice about that, Stephen, is almost every meal is in someone's home. So breakfast in someone's home, and then lunch at someone else's home, and then supper at someone else's home. And they view it as an honor to get to have this guest come in, eat at their home. So everybody gives their absolute best and a lot of it. And I'll probably be 10 pounds heavier when you see me next Tuesday.
What are they going to cook, you think?
Well, I guarantee you that I will have some fried bananas because they know how much I love plantains, fried bananas.
So like fried plantains?
Yeah. They fry them and they put cream and cheese on top.
They call that maduros.
Oh, do they?
Venezuela.
Oh, plátanos fritos in Mexico.
I think they do.
Okay. They're kind of squished down, flat, and deep fried.
Oh,
they call
them patacona.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I don't know.
think so.
I don't know. So I have that. They know I love tacos de barbacoa. I'll have some of that. My favorite breakfast of all time are huevos motoleños, which is kind of like a huevos rancheros thing. It's got a burrito, a tortilla, corn tortilla with fried eggs and beans. But the motoleños have fried bananas on top of them with, they actually have peas. I know it sounds crazy, but cheese and cream and so good. So my mouth watered just now talking about it.
I begged my mother-in-law to make me something called cachapas. Apparently they're really hard to make, but they're like corn pancakes.
Yeah.
They're so good. But everything she makes is good.
Ask her if she makes arepas. A-R-E.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all eat? Yeah.
We eat that in my house all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
My dog.
We have an arepa maker.
Do you really?
Yeah.
And you got to use a certain kind of cornmeal. It's not just any old average cornmeal.
Pan.
That's it. That's exactly right. I can't find it locally. Every now and then I found it at Kroger, but I usually end up buying it off Amazon.
I think they get it at Kroger.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can find it quite often, I think.
Okay, well, I don't get by Kroger that much. It's on the wrong side of, from where I'm at.
Oh, yeah, dude. Arepas, we get my favorites with the shredded beef and some of that cheese they have. And
yes.
Over in Lafayette, they have a restaurant called Patacón, Venezuelan restaurant.
No way.
They have really good arepas.
That would be worth the trip.
But I'll invite you next time they make arepas.
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Can I bring
your daughter, 100%.
She will absolutely die for it. We make them quite a bit at the house. They're not that hard to make.
They're easy.
Yeah, and they're tasty and filling. All right, well, there's your International Culture Hour. Coming up next hour.
I wonder why no one's calling in.
Well, now somebody calls when the music comes on, so I just now see the flashing light. Sorry, caller. If you got a call for Mayor Joe Bishop of Pineville, come back after the top of the hour. We'll be talking with him. All things Pineville. You're listening to Talkback on KSYL.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, breaking from Washington. Sources tell CBS News at least 6 members of the Justice Department Civil Rights Division have resigned after they learned there would be no civil rights investigation into that ICE agent who shot a protester dead in her car in Minneapolis last week. The state and the Twin Cities have already filed a lawsuit. CBS's Lana Zach.
In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security said the Minnesota lawsuit was prioritizing politics over public safety, adding, quote, "We have the Constitution on our side on this, and we look forward to proving that in court."
Protesters in Iran have sent out video showing a violent and deadly government crackdown. Next moves for President Trump. CBS's Holly Williams from the Iraqi border.
U.S. officials told CBS News that Trump has been briefed on an array of options, not just military strikes, but also cyber operations and psychological campaigns.
The Supreme Court begins hearing arguments next hour in the case of 15-year-old Becky Pepper Jackson. She's a transgender track and field athlete who's defied a ban in West Virginia. CBS's Jan Crawford.
If the court says that those bans can continue, you may see other states trying to pass those laws. But of course, Democratic-led states will not. And so we have quite a divide in this country on this issue of participating in sports if you're a transgender female athlete.
Inflation declined just a touch last month. Consumer prices rose 0.3% in December from the month before. The cost of groceries, rent, and healthcare all up, while prices for gas and used cars were down. The Environmental Protection Agency is changing its formula for setting rules on air pollution.
The EPA has announced it will now consider the cost to industry when setting pollution limits, not the cost of saving human lives, as it has for decades. The change could make it easier to repeal limits on pollutants from power plants, oil refineries, and steel mills, lowering their costs while allowing for dirtier air. Critics point out the EPA's mission statement is to protect human health and the environment. Long-term exposure to fine particulate matter and ozone has been linked to asthma, heart and lung disease, and premature death. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Want to find out whose dogs are doing their business in your yard? People in communities like Hudson Harbor Condos in Edgewater, New Jersey can check the poop prints.
Every resident pup is required to be swabbed so their genetic information can be kept on file. If there's a match, properties can levy fines or punishments. Neighborhood HOAs have signed up, so have campgrounds and dog parks.
CBS's Bradley Blackburn. Dow futures down 49. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, I mean your best night ever, then you gotta hear this. There's a new ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their first new ED pill in over 20 years. This new super pill is called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in only 11 minutes and lasts up to 14 hours. Thanks to its new vasodynamic delivery system. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. There has never been any ED pill like it. It's unreal what it does to you. In testing, Viagra AGV crushed every other ED pill. It destroyed them all. And now, 9 out of 10 urologists are recommending Viagra AGV over any other ED pill. Every man alive needs to try this new Viagra AGV super pill at least once. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't miss this. Go to scoreblue.com and try it while supplies last. That's scoreblue.com.
Praise and criticism for something a reporter said at an NFL postgame news conference.
After the Jaguars lost to the Bills on Sunday, Lynn Jones-Turpin of the Jacksonville Free Press attended the news conference of Coach Liam Cohen.
I just want to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man. You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
It's lit up social media.
Your job is not to console. Your job is to observe, put into context, tell people why things happen, get information.
From Jamel Hill to Dan Patrick.
It's not what we should be doing, but it's not the end of the world.
Some sports journalists and ex-players like Pat McAfee have defended her. ESPN's Adam Schefter called it an awesome exchange. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Denmark's foreign minister says Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio will meet with their counterparts from Greenland at the White House tomorrow, most likely, talk about President Trump's bid to take over the territory. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. The Supreme Court heard arguments yesterday over lawsuits filed by coastal parishes against oil and gas companies for damages to the coastline caused by drilling. Chevron argued that those cases belong in federal court, citing federal contracts. Loyola law professor Dane Cialino says they're citing the federal officer removal statute.
The issue before the Supreme Court is whether the statute is broad enough to include lawsuits arising out of activities that are related to the federal interest in getting oil for aviation contracts for World War II.
The Louisiana Department of Health says the rates of flu cases are decreasing, but flu activity is still high. On WRKF Radio in Baton Rouge, Dr. Julio Figueroa with LSU Health New Orleans says if you think you have the flu, don't delay, because medication available to combat the flu is more effective when taken shortly after the onset of symptoms.
The institution of the antivirals can help reduce symptomatology, usually about a day on average.
LRN. Closed primaries are coming, so you may want to verify your party affiliation.
The closed party primaries only apply to U.S. House, U.S. Senate, State Supreme
Supreme Court, Public Service Commission, and Bessie races. Republicans can only vote for Republican candidates, and Democrats can only vote for Democratic candidates. Those with no party affiliation can vote in either party's primary, and PAR President Stephen Procopio says those unaffiliated voters will play a very important role.
27% of the state's voters have no party registration. That's a pretty big chunk.
For those voters, it's important to note that if they vote in one party's primary, they may not vote in the other party's runoff. I'm Andrew Greenstein.
LSU has signed the top-rated quarterback in the transfer portal, Sam Levitt of Arizona State. Tigers also received a commitment from redshirt freshman quarterback Landon Clark of Elon over the weekend, and they're still going after redshirt freshman quarterback Husan Longstreet of USC. Tiger Rag magazine editor Glenn Gilbo says
that would be three pretty good ones right there. But clearly, the only one ready to start is Sam Levitt.
Head on over to Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse, the top barbecue and steakhouse in Alexandria. Our warm and welcoming atmosphere is the perfect setting for a night out with friends or a family dinner. Indulge in our premium barbecue and steaks, fresh salads, and handcrafted burgers. Come as you are, we're ready to serve you. Visit Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse today on Coliseum Boulevard across from the Rapides Parish Coliseum. Expect real good food.
Well, sunshine and control of the weather picture for the next couple of days. Pretty nice today with sunny skies, afternoon highs near 60. We'll see winds out of the southwest at about 5 this afternoon. Now tonight, well, mostly cloudy skies overnight. 43 will be the overnight low. And our Wednesday, another nice day with sunny skies, a little bit warmer. 63 will do it for the afternoon high. From the Zenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dick Grayson.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday morning to you now, and excited to be with you on this second Tuesday of the month of January, the 13th day of January. But second Tuesdays means we'll have Pineville Mayor Joe Bishop in, and if you give me just a second, I got to turn your mic on. So, Stephen, take it away.
Yeah, you can hear me. You can't see me if you're on the stream, but yeah, you guys have another council meeting coming up. What's been going on?
Hey, good morning, everybody. So we're just taking care of business in Pineville, and we've been busy all week long and stuff like that. And yesterday we had the funeral for retired Chief Jay Barber, and I'd like to send our condolences out to the entire family. Had a great turnout at the funeral yesterday, and a lot of people showed up the Sunday night at the church, and it was a packed house. There was people waiting outside the front door. Jay had a lot of friends and loved ones in Pineville that respected the chief. As a matter of fact, I worked for Jay on the reserves when I was there for the 18 years, and also Chief Basco worked for Jay there, and also when I was served on the city council. So we worked together in 2 ways.
Mm. He was definitely very loved, you could tell.
He was.
So.
He was.
I got a text from one of our listeners who went to the visitation, and they were incredibly touched by the honor guard that's there. And I've seen that a few times over the years when a member of the law enforcement community, well, fire does it as well. Fire department will have one of their guys in their dress uniform, and that is such a touching tribute. And I know they probably rotate out because you don't have the same person there all the time.
Yeah, it's a rotation that they do. The casket watch, honor guard, whatever the word is, they do that. Some want it, some don't. And, always when I was chief, I was always happy to fulfill that request if the family wanted it. I always looked at it, that was the least the city could do or the department on behalf of the city could do for that person that served the department as long as they did.
You're hearing Chief Operations Officer Daryl Basco, that former chief of police.
Sorry about that.
No, I didn't introduce you. That's my fault. I should have brought you in earlier. But so glad to have Mayor Bishop and Chief Basco. Kind of nice. You still get to use the term chief because your Chief Operations Officer is, chief of police.
I guess
I can still call you Chief Basco.
A lot of people ask me that. I said, well, would I just whatever? It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's just,
Well, and I want to go back to the funeral. I talked about it in the first hour. What a moving tribute it was. I thought, of course, Philip Terrell and Mike Burns did great jobs of their personal stories. The grandchildren were incredibly moving.
Absolutely.
The 2 grandsons who shared, and of course, his son and his 2 sons and his daughter got up in a very emotional tribute. So, a fitting tribute to a man who made a big impact in a lot of ways.
And Jay, I mean, I'll say this: I was I guess I was a patrolman then, and when he came in, he transferred me to the detectives and kind of brought me into the administrative side for me to start learning and progressing in my career. And I always appreciated that about him. Me and him always had great conversations. Even when I became chief, there was times I'd run into him and he would tell me, Bubba, there's things you got to do a little bit different, you know. And so he was a guiding light for a lot of people in law enforcement and throughout life. I mean, Mike Burns talked about it yesterday. Philip talked about it, you know, from when he was a city attorney. So, I mean, it was a great showing for him in his life. Yeah.
Well, and Pineville proud. I mean, that's a good example of that. So,
and I remember they talked about Duke. I remember Duke when he first had Duke, and after Duke, he had a white shepherd named Narco that was a bit on the crazy side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't last that long, but Duke was really a great dog. That they would pick up Jay, who was part of some type of task force, and they would actually put him and Duke on a helicopter, because back then there wasn't the big abundance of canines, and they would fly them to different places to do, you know, searches at prisons or different things like that. So yeah.
And I understood he was part of the first DARE class.
First DARE class, ran the DARE unit here for, I guess, 10 or so years, you know. And I guess that's the thing. You look at, and him and Keith McLean, Darren Luno, all those guys that were part of that first initial DARE unit, you run into a lot of kids now and adults now that were kids that they made huge impacts on back then.
And the story of the third grader who, after he came and spoke at a career day, told his teacher he wanted to become a police officer and recently retired as a state trooper.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out who that is.
Yeah, that'd be nice to know.
The whole time I'm thinking to myself, who is that? Who is that?
Well, thank you both for the honor given to one of Pineville's own. And that's it was a very special day. Mayor, we have a city council meeting tonight. We have a lot of great things happening in Pineville. Speaking of giving honor, you also have a fire chief that's retiring, and I know that you'll be recognizing him tonight.
Yeah, before we just move on to that, I'd also like to thank all the other agencies that stepped up to the plate that send representatives there to Jay's funeral, too. But yeah, tonight, Fire Chief Casey Cummins is going to retire after 21 years of service with the city of Pineville. And we want to congratulate Casey and his wife, and he's moving on to another side job, a little side gig where he can make some extra money, but also drawing his retirement at the same time and enjoying life, you know.
I told my son that probably outside, you know, law enforcement and fire department are great places to go into. If you're 20, 21 years old and you work 30 years, then you retire at 50, 51 years old, draw a full salary, retirement salary, and you're still young enough to go do something you love.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's a great opportunity to serve, and it's become more attractive over the years, I think.
Yeah.
So,
and
congratulations, Casey.
And I think you even see with, you know, law enforcement, public safety together took a hit after COVID and around that time, but a lot of agencies are starting to see those turnarounds and numbers coming back up. I think Chief Cummins just got us back full or almost one short of the fire department from the numbers they were down. So, I mean, that's something he can applaud himself for doing before, you know, he retired. And I think the police department announced we were one short or something like that a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, some good strides going on.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Because,
that's a bit of an anomaly, too.
Oh, it is, because, I mean, if a kid's coming right out of high school, okay, and they don't want to go to college or anything like that, come and work for the police department, fire department, put in your 25 years of service, and you're going to draw a check 100% for the rest of your life. And
30.
Insurance, 30 years. Okay, I'm sorry. But 30 years. And you're going to draw a check for the rest of your life, okay, with insurance. And then you're still a young man. Go do whatever else you need to do.
And you can actually retire after 20 years and draw, and it's not the full 100%.
Right. It's
percentage-based.
It's percentage-based with the number of years, 3 or 3 1/3, depending on where you come in at or however it is. But, yeah, right now I think for a policeman, with a fireman, it's 100%, 100 or 99.99% at 30 years. For a law enforcement officer, a municipal law enforcement officer, I think it's like a flat 99 or 98, something like that after 30 years. But you can leave at 20, yeah.
So, Stephen, you said it's an anomaly, but you were really talking about the fact that Pineville's departments have so few vacancies. That's the anomaly
what I mean,
you were talking about. And I think that's credit to I mean, Daryl, Chief Basco, when you were chief, you had almost zero openings. You kept very few openings, kept people in the academy. So it's a credit to the entire family of Pineville that's attractive.
Yeah, I think there's a huge bunch of factors. One, you have to change of what you're looking for. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It used to be people would go take the test and just kind of show up on your doorstep. Well, we found out we had to start using things like Indeed and social media, because my daughter's 27 and that's how she applied for jobs. She got on Indeed, and people look for her LinkedIn and all those things. So you have to adapt and change with that. Plus, when the young person or whoever they may be, they look at the culture that they're coming into. They want to do it. Your employee is your best recruiter. It's not the chief of police. Good. I mean, the employees that you have, if they're happy and wanting to do it, they become your best recruiter to bring in new people into your agency. And I've told countless people all over the place is that people say, and I'm going to speak for the law enforcement side, people will sit back and say, well, I couldn't police today if I had to. Well, yeah, you could, because you don't know any different. Policing changed in the past 30 years. Policing changed in the previous 30 years before that.
Sure.
So the person coming into law enforcement today, I had to change my goggles, because if I'm looking for me 30 years ago, I'm not finding that person, right? The generations have changed, good, bad, or otherwise. Don't want to get in that debate, but you have to look at what you got, and when they come in, they're learning law enforcement and public safety of what it is today, not through those 30-year goggles of way back then.
There's a lot of wisdom in that for hiring.
I mean, it is.
Good
it's just,
Well, Mayor, what else is happening that you want to chat about?
Also tonight, our auditor's coming to present the 24-25 fiscal year audit. Stephen McKay, Rozier, McKay, and Willis. And I'm looking forward to hearing the findings on our audit tonight. I think we're going to have a good, clean audit in the city of Pineville. We cleaned it up a year ago and made the changes that the auditor requested, and also with the state. And we have a drainage improvement we completing tonight on Military Highway at Tudor Street. That'll be completion. And then we're also applying for a couple community water enrichment grant applications for some water valves and clean water for our water mains and things around the city. And also, we got our Mardi Gras coming up, and I'm going to let Daryl speak on that, who are our Grand Marshal. And
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, before we get to that, I wanted to compliment the drainage project you talk about on Military Highway. That's right there where Claiborne Street dumps into Military Highway.
Yes, sir.
In front of the Trotter Center. That looks so good. That has been an eyesore for years and probably wasn't even as functional as it could have been. But that crew, I don't know who they were. I forget. Well, I can look on my resolution here. Art Tech Construction and Design did a great job. It really looks good.
It's just geometric when you look at it.
Right. It is. And for us OCD people, that kind of is satisfying.
It's amazing what our engineers can put together, and even the people at the high school, they complimented us. They said, when we pull up to the red light to go home in the evenings, it looks so much cleaner.
Yes.
There at Pine Plaza Mall and stuff. And would like to thank Mr. Greg Trotter for contributing to that project.
Oh,
too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that helps his drainage as well.
Yep.
I saw they were doing some parking lot work in conjunction with that. So I had lunch yesterday there at Pop's Place in that Trotter Center, and that's become quite a growing concern, that entire thing.
Yeah. But, part of that is, and I'll say this, I try and bring it up as much as I can. You see that when you pull up, but there was a ton of underground work there that nobody sees and nobody recognizes because it's underground that runs from the Trotter Center, where the geometric shapes are, all the way down past the intersection of Tudor Street to improving the drainage there.
Yeah, because there's some more drains, catch basins in the front of the old Corley house. And
that's right.
All of that is improved. So that's great. Well, I did want to tease the Mardi Gras stuff. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back talking about all things Mardi Gras in Pineville right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Gumbo weather is here, so come get you a hot and hearty bowlful at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express. It's your quick in and quick out headquarters for lunch. It's right there on the corner of North MacArthur and Bayou Rapides. Come get you some gumbo or choose from a selection of crisp, fresh salads. Try one of their hot or cold sub sandwiches made your way. And don't forget their hamburgers. Give Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express a try for lunch on North MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
Welcome back to Talk Back, as we're talking with Mayor Joe Bishop and Chief Daryl Basco. And yes, sir.
Something that I did want to remember, we talked about Chief Barber. Also, a couple of weeks ago, we lost Thurman Kelly, who was a long-time city employee working within the utility department. Him and then
Ted Price.
Ted Price passed away yesterday. He was another longtime public works employee. So I want to make sure that, those are guys that did 25, 30. I think Ted did way over 30 years with the city. I don't know exactly what his total was, but, they left a legacy there within the city, too. And just want to make sure we didn't forget them and their achievements and what they did for the citizens.
So glad you did that, because both of those many, many years. By the way, Pineville Police Department posted 9 minutes ago on the expressway, traffic's backed up due to a traffic accident. So expect delays and consider alternate routes if possible, because you got some issues right there by Louisiana College, Stein Building Material, that area. So Police Department's doing a great job of informing the public.
Absolutely.
All right, Mayor, so you want to talk about Mardi Gras?
Yeah, I tell you what, before we mention about Mardi Gras, I want to tell everybody about Lou and Laura's restaurant coming up in Pineville. There's framing on it as of right now. They also have the food truck there. And it felt good last week when I went by there and got a Lou and Laura's po' boy, okay? Went back to the office and ate it, it's going
to be a nice restaurant, too.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And then also, too, we are wrapping up on the Edith's Drive water main dead end elimination. That's right there off of Edgewood Drive. That little project's a little over $207,000. So the people at the dead end of Edith's Drive was getting brown water. So we're looping that water main into 28 so that water can circulate. So we're very happy for the citizens that live on Edith's Drive. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the ball to Daryl to go ahead and start talking about Mardi Gras.
So we've got Mardi Gras coming up, and last year we kind of looked at it and said, well, let's make it a theme, and we had a grand marshal, and we decided to make a queen of Mardi Gras. And education was the theme last year, so we kind of batted it back and forth of what we're going to do this year. Well, this year it's military and veterans. So our grand marshal is Colonel Michael DeVille, who serves at Camp Beauregard, is going to be a coming up soon retiree from the Louisiana National Guard after a long and fulfilling career there. And then for our queen of Mardi Gras, it's going to be Rose Wagasback. If Rose if you don't know her, she's not in the military, but she's very heavily, deeply involved in a lot of the military organizations. And whenever you ever have the wreaths across America, where they bring the wreaths in at Christmas time and do that, that's her project that they do at the National Cemetery. So she's, very involved. Veterans are important here. We put the Blue Star Memorial sign up a couple of months ago. We've got Camp Beauregard. We have the Veterans Administration Hospital of Pineville, not of Alexandria. We have the National Cemetery in Pineville. So it's a lot of those things. We're heavily involved in the military. We are very supportive of our military veterans that are here and the active duty people that serve at Camp Beauregard and at Esler Field and all throughout. So we felt it was kind of an important thing to kind of recognize them of some of their accomplishments and some of the things that they've been able to do for us to be able to live free every day and do what we're able to do. Sit here and do this.
Absolutely. So that's a really nice movement there. Isn't Mike DeVille, is he also a Red River commissioner?
He's also a commissioner on the Red River Waterway.
I mean, he's super active in the community and a great a really, really good guy. So that's a really nice gesture to bring him in as the parade. As
Great
the
guy.
So
Really
they call that Mardi Gras. You call that the. Is he the king or is he the?
We just made it the Grand Marshal of the parade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not versed on some of that, so I want to make sure I get the words right.
So we're going to have a reception for both of them that's coming up, and then that Friday, February the 7th. No, 6th.
Friday the 6th.
Friday the 6th at 7 o'clock is when we have our nighttime parade, only nighttime Mardi Gras parade in Central Louisiana. We're going to add a little bit of extra stop at Main at Shamrock at Old Town Hall, do something special there. Because we now have kind of a little open area since we tore down the old Red River Rarities, Harvey Scroggs building, still working on that project. So we got that. Then February 14th, which is the next Saturday after the Children's Parade in Alexandria, we'll have Mardi Gras on the Red. We've got 2 bands booked from South Louisiana. We start at 11. I think band starts at 12 and goes to 6 o'clock that night. So
that'd be good.
Yeah, fun-filled day. We just hope the weather cooperates.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras on the Red. Start your Valentine's Day off in downtown Pine.
And this will be our second year we've done this Mardi Gras on the Red. So please, people, when you get through the kids parade downtown Alexander, just walk across the Jackson Street Bridge or drive across. We're going to have food vendors there. Like you said, Daryl said, we got Zydeco bands from South Louisiana. So you don't have to drive to Mamu or Eunice or anything to go hear good Zydeco music. It's going to be right there on the banks of Red River at the flagpole.
Take your sweetheart down to the Old Town Hall and take a picture in front of the heart.
Absolutely.
That's right. Got the heart down there. We're going to have something a little bit special. We'll announce that for during the parade that we're going to kind of highlight Old Town Hall, something in cooperation with Pineville High School and the Downtown Development District. We'll make that announcement coming up soon.
Oh, exciting. Very exciting. I did notice a bunch of water pipes out in front of Central, on the backside of Central at Shamrock, and then y'all posted something about a 6-inch water line extension coming across there. That's pretty big news.
We're doing a 6-inch water line extension where we're going to tie in on Shamrock. We're going to go all the way to US 165. You know, a lot of people don't realize, and I know we're running shorter time, so I'm trying to make it. Those businesses at the end of 165 get their water through Central. Who the water system is ours, so we're having to do a funky little thing to get the water through the Central that's closed to get it on the other side. So it was kind of a no-brainer. We had to put the volume down there, so we're putting a 6-inch line. We're improving the volume that goes there. But the biggest thing for future expansion in Central, and as that begins to develop over the upcoming years, now we have adequate water supply running all the way down to be able to spread out along that rainbow corridor now.
That's exciting. I didn't attend, but at this week's STAR committee, or last week's STAR, whenever it was, I heard that the Teddy Price headquarters was reviewed, and they say it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm sure y'all seen the plans.
Mr. Teddy Ray Price is still moving along with his administrative office there on the Central property, but the water main extension project is a little over $700,000. Okay, so like I said, we had to do that to be the backbone of that entire project for Central, because we're utilizing their old facility right now, and that system will be eliminated eventually. Okay? Yeah.
And it's pretty old. Well, the last time we had the hard freeze, we had 2 breaks out there that we had to send our water department to go out and deal with, because it lowers the pressure for Why Not Stop and Giles that's out there. So it's something we were having to deal with.
Well, it heads up to the public. Don't think you can get a free ride through Central, because Pineville Police has got eyeballs everywhere out of Central.
That's correct. We're doing everything we can. You know, we had to bring on, or our police department is having to take on a little bit over 400 plus acres of additional land, that because Central had their own security force. So it was anything outside of security, we went and they would call us to go deal with. Well, now they're having to do it. So we've had to put up cameras. We've had to increase extra patrols. When you look at having a patrol an extra 412 acres overnight, that's a big feat to have to deal with. But
you've been successful, because you've already stopping people and catching people, and they shouldn't be there.
I think the past couple of weeks they've arrested 4 or 5 people that's going in and they're trying to steal whatever they can that's not nailed, or then some stuff that's nailed down there, trying to steal that too.
All right. Well, that wraps up our time. Mayor, any last words?
No, thank y'all. And once again, Central State Hospital is private property, so please, it's posted. Do not go out there, because like Daryl said, we catching people stealing copper pipes, copper wire and stuff. and we're making arrests. So please stay away from the buildings and stuff like that. So,
And come out tonight at 5 o'clock for the city council meeting at Pineville City Hall and eat some cake.
absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Bishop, Chief Basco. We'll be back with Jeff Zarang of the Forestry Commission right after this.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Underlying U.S. inflation rose in December by less than expected, a more confident signal of cooling price growth after shutdown-related distortions complicated the previous report. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics data released this morning, the core consumer price index, excluding often volatile food and energy, increased 0.2% from November. Delta Airlines says demand from high-spending flyers continues to remain strong. The carrier reported quarterly earnings that beat Wall Street expectations, plus the airline sees profit increasing by 20% this year. Delta's been focusing on its premium offerings both in-cabin and on the ground. Meanwhile, Delta is ordering 30 Boeing 787 Dreamliners, providing a boost to the plane maker. Two financial giants are cutting jobs. BlackRock is said to be trimming hundreds of jobs across the asset manager, totaling about 1% of its global headcount. The layoffs include members of its investment and sales teams. And Citigroup is set to cut about 1,000 positions this week to keep a lid on costs. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do you have a history of those dreadful calcium oxalate stones? Well, Kidney Cop is here to help. Shown in laboratory testing to reduce the rate of calcium oxalate crystal growth by 99%. Yes, 99%. Don't wait. Start taking Kidney Cop Calcium Oxalate Protector today. That's Kidney Cop, C-O-P, Kidney Cop. Order today at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCop.com. That's Amazon, Walmart, or KidneyCop.com.
Well, sunshine and control of the weather picture for the next couple of days. Pretty nice today with sunny skies, afternoon highs near 60. We'll see winds out of the southwest at about 5 this afternoon. Now tonight, well, mostly cloudy skies overnight. 43 will be the overnight low. And our Wednesday, another nice day with sunny skies, a little bit warmer. 63 will do it for the afternoon high. From the Zenlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
Welcome back to Talk Back, where we're joined this morning by Jeff Zarang from the Louisiana Forestry Association. I said Louisiana Forestry Commission. Oops, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. We work with the commission every once in a while. It is all in the industry, so that's good.
Yeah, so we're glad to have you here because y'all got a big event coming up this weekend for Arbor Day, and you're here to talk to about it.
Yes, exactly. Arbor Day in Louisiana is celebrated the third Friday of January every year. It's always in the cooler months because that's the best time to plant a tree. So we have our tree giveaway on Friday, January 16th this year. We start about 7:30 in the morning. We're located just off the South Circle, 2316 South MacArthur Drive, right across the highway from Albertsons. So come on by at 7:30 and get a tree. And I guess you want to know what kind of trees we're going to have.
What, is it a ficus?
No.
We were talking about ficuses yesterday.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know why. So.
Yeah, why would you talk about
The
that?
typical office plant. Always
the only
plastic.
ficus I've ever had was a plastic one. So,
Right,
exactly.
Look, I've seen ficus trees in the wild in Latin America. They're huge.
Are they?
Get huge.
I've never
Gorgeous
seen one
trees.
outside of
But
an
I-
office.
And here, that's all you're going to see is little plastic ones you buy at Hobby Lobby.
Well,
All right, so,
Arborgen
but
has-
you've got other stuff.
Yes, we have seedlings. Arborgen has provided us some seedlings. They're bald cypress, shoe-mortar oak, and persimmon.
Nice.
Oh,
A lot of the
persimmon.
hunters really like the shoe-mortar oak because it makes a great big acorn. The deer love it.
Oh, my.
And the persimmon as well. They will clean the tree off of every
Wow.
fruit it has. They love that. And then Louisiana Forestry down in LeCompte, they're providing us with some saplings, that's the larger trees in the buckets, of pine cypress, river birch, and sawtooth oak. Also a large tree, the sawtooth oak. Also good for the deer as well.
And y'all will have the large trees as well this Friday, or you have to go down there for those?
Oh, no, they'll be here. They'll
Okay.
be here. Yep.
Well, I've been through the line before and have picked up trees in the past. You guys are incredibly efficient. It doesn't take long to come through.
Well, thank you.
And so I know you will be streamlined Saturday morning, 7:30. On Friday morning, Friday
yes,
morning,
yes.
7:30.
If you come Saturday, I'll be home.
Oh, it's Friday. I got to change my calendar.
That's right, Friday the 16th. And you know why we're so efficient? Because we have great help from FFA students. The Tioga High School and Rapides High School are sending their FFA students to give us a hand. We really thank them. They do a great job. Great young men and great young ladies.
Now, it is one tree per household.
Well, for the seedlings, we're happy to give a couple
Okay.
of each species if you'd like.
That'd be nice to have this, the matching set,
Yeah.
Put them on
Well-
either side of your driveway. Or
Well, for persimmons too, you need at least two,
Oh, okay.
male and female.
So that
you
they
got to
can-
think about that. So we
All
do
right.
give two of those.
I have to ask the question, how do you know whether it's a male or female tree?
Well, we refer to Noah. No, I don't. I'm not sure.
But they label them for you?
No.
So you're taking a shot in the dark.
It is a shot in the dark.
Well, thanks a lot.
Look under the pot.
What's life without a chance, right?
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, that's great though. But so you will give a couple, and and folks can come through, and they're bare root seedlings, so
Correct.
they're ready to be planted. Do you have instructions on? You give a little
Yes.
instruction sheet?
Yeah, they do have instructions on it. Matter of fact, the John Eskew Center is helping us. They are packaging the seedlings up as we speak, and so they'll have a little label on how to take care of it and what to do. When you first get the seedlings, if you want to put it in a pot, that's perfectly fine, but you want to get it in something so it is going to be okay. That way you can take a little bit of time to decide where you want to put the tree. And actually, if you are planning to come, look at your yard and see where might this tree work for us.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're going to get an oak tree that can get rather large. Make sure you're not going to plant it under a power line. Make sure you're not going to plant it near a water line or anything like that. So,
No, that'd be a problem a few years down the road that you created. So
yes, that's true. That's true.
Do you recommend people call before they dig?
That is the law, so that's probably a good thing to do. Yes.
Yeah, 511. I think it's 511. Give a call and they can come out and mark your lines. Now, if you're planting in the middle of your yard, I doubt anybody's going to have a problem. But if you're going to be anywhere close to a property line or an easement, you certainly want to make sure there's no gas lines, water lines, fiber optic lines, or your neighbors might be really unhappy with you.
Well, and be considerate of your neighbors as well. When you plant something really close to the property line, know that it could encroach upon your neighbor's yard.
That's wisdom. Yeah.
Be careful about that.
Well, you want to know where the shade is and the sunspots are and all that good stuff. Of course,
Why is this so important for you guys to get out these trees?
Well, Teddy Roosevelt once said that trees are the lungs of the world. And it's true. I mean, they take in the carbon dioxide that we exhale and provide us with oxygen. So it breathes for the earth, and it really provides not just clean air, but it helps filter water, and it also is a pretty thing to attract wildlife and things of that nature. So that's very important.
God's original carbon capture device.
There you go.
You really had to go there, didn't you?
I'm sorry, Steve.
Well, I just think too, for what our industry does, all the carbon captured in the tree that is used to make this desk or that chair or things like that, that's sequestered forever, or at least until you have to throw it away.
There you go. All right. So, Jeff Zerang, thanks for coming in. And thanks for what the Forestry Association does. I know you guys are advocacy for your members and probably a lot of education as well.
Yes, we do. We do. We actually have some programs through PLT, which is Project Learning Tree, that teaches the teachers. So it's carried on through the youngsters in the state as well.
So you've got something to do the rest of the year, not just at Arbor Day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're very busy, very busy. We have magazines, and I do a podcast, and it keeps me quite busy.
You have the voice for a podcast. I bet it's pleasant to listen to.
Oh, I hope so. You can tune in. It's Minding the Forest. It drops on the 15th of each month.
Minding the Forest.
Minding the Forest. Because our tagline has long been, at the Louisiana Forestry Association, we're minding the forest for you.
I want him to do like my next audio book.
Yeah.
Like this whole time.
It's so pleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me and
All right,
Nathan, not so much.
Yeah.
So we're here for our intelligence.
Oh my goodness. We just got canned. Just got the notice. So is it like on Spotify and all the major platforms?
Yes. Apple, Spotify, all like that.
Louisiana Forestry Association, Minding the Forest.
Minding the Forest. We have a YouTube channel that has the podcast.
Oh. I need to find some poetry for him to read and record for me to go to sleep to, because I would enjoy that.
So I'm boring and put you to sleep.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's a very pleasant voice. I am going to listen to your podcast because I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So. Well, actually, this one is going to drop just in a couple of days. Is Emily E.J. Williams. She recently retired, working for the American Bird Conservancy, and she talks about how managed forests, which is what we support in sustainable forestry, is really the best thing for birds.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not to get off track here, but you sound just like Speaker Mike Johnson.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying politically, just like it has that same cadence.
Okay, well. Yeah. I've never met the congressman, but, you know.
I close my eyes and I hear it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But he has a good voice, too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So
I appreciate it.
I'll stop with
I'm
the
sure he does, too.
Jeff Zerang with the Louisiana Forestry Association, the free tree giveaway Friday morning at 7:30. Don't get there too early, folks. It'll be plenty. And come on by.
Come on by.
Just by the South Traffic Circle. Thank you, Jeff, for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with Keith Dickens and If I Be Lifted Up right after this.
KSYL.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Hi, I'm Karen Trishelle, a proud recipient of the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters 2025 Broadcast Scholarship. If you're a Louisiana mass communication student dreaming of a career in radio or TV, listen up. The LAB is now accepting applications for the 2026 Broadcast Scholarship Program. They're awarding 2 $4,000 scholarships to students just like you. Visit broadcasters.org or call 1-800-364-7260 to apply. Deadline is January 23rd, 2026. Hope to hear you on the air soon.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
At a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort.
Now back to Talk Back. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talk Back on this lovely Tuesday morning. And I'm waiting for the soon arrival from Keith Dickens, who's in the building and making his way to the studio. Steven stepped out. He's going to do a little interview with Jeff Zerang about that upcoming Arbor Day event. And so we'll have the opportunity to chat with him just a little bit. But we're joined this morning by, happily in the studio, Keith Dickens and his lovely daughter Leah are here. Is that she your driver this morning, Brother Keith?
No, not really. We were hindered from getting here earlier.
Oh, that traffic.
Yes.
All right, keep talking for a second.
Yes. So we were on the way here, and noticed the traffic was backed up. So we took an alternate route and came, and I made it here. I'm talking about a buzzer beater.
Yeah. Absolutely. You walked in as the echo of the buzzer was about to start.
I promise you.
So glad that you're here. Let me get my camera back on. Folks are excited. There is buzz in town about Thursday night.
Hey, no doubt. People have been telling me this has been needed. We need this. We need this. Everywhere I go, we need this. Man, we've been needing this. And they're very, very excited. And I'm so grateful for that, that people are seeing the need. You know, I'm thinking about entertainment, and I'm thinking about